I know how you prepare for a golf tournament.
Well, I hit balls maybe 20 minutes, putt a little bit, smoke 4 or 5 cigarettes, drink 3 Diet Cokes, and go to the first tee. Some days I won't even go to the range.
It's a Monday, and we are inside the Puck Sports Studios built by Limbach Lumber, family-owned and serving the Northwest since 1930, the Northwest premier supplier of specialized lumber and moldings. Summer is here. That means it's deck and fence season. Contact the fine folks at Limbach Lumber at 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbachlumber.com. Puck Sports Studios built by Limbach Lumber. It's a Monday. It's the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD. I'm in the Limbach Lumber Studios. Jim is in the laundry room studios with the ironing board behind him.
I thought about trying to do it outside today, but yeah, might be a little challenge for me here because, I mean, it worked okay at Roche Harbor, I think. I
thought it was great at Roche Harbor. It was great. It sounded good. Yeah, I would love maybe do you have a good background there in Bend? Do we have are we on a golf course there or anything?
Like what do you want? Oh, you want something outside. You don't want the ironing board anymore.
Well, if you have an outside, maybe the pine trees or something.
Okay, I could do that. I'll set up the pine trees. I'm looking at pine trees right now. I'm looking at a basketball hoop.
Okay.
I'll have a good background.
All right.
I got to get something Coug in the background too, don't I?
If you can, if you'd like to, put something Coug in the background.
Yeah, you got what? You got your helmet over there. And,
We got a helmet in there. We got a little a Mike Utley foam finger.
Okay.
Yeah. We got all kinds of stuff.
Good.
How was your weekend? How was the McIntyre wedding in Roche Harbor?
I'm on such a same wavelength as you because I was just getting ready to ask you how your weekend was. Let's start with that. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend. Friday took the Owen and his buddy out on the boat to do a little inner tubing on Lake Washington. I was too much time on the water. I was just damn near sunburned. I think we got out there at 1:00. We were out there till like 7.
That can wear you out.
Oh, it wears you out.
Just being on the water, bouncing around, being in the sun.
Yeah, well, just first world problems right there. Yeah, I'm real tired today. What were you doing? Working outside under the sun? No, I was floating on my boat.
Yeah, no,
pulling kids. What a rough life you have.
No,
Jesus.
You have a nice boat too. You have a good setup there. You got it.
Yeah, it's a little ski boat. It's nothing fancy.
No, I know, but it's nice and docked right there in Ballard. It's real close to your house.
Yeah, so we pulled the kids for nothing better than pulling kids and trying to dump them in the water. There's just nothing better than that. But you got to be careful. You do it too fast, you can really whip them around.
No, I know. So you're out there just making turns left and right, trying to get Owen just flying outside the wakes.
Yeah, then he's yelling at me. Stop! Stop!
I know. And then if you don't do it hard enough, they get mad about that.
Yeah, there's no happy medium with them. It's like either too slow or you're going too fast. And then the lake was real choppy. It was real windy. So anytime we would turn, there's wakes from ours, but other boats. But then it's windy. I mean, there was a couple times they were hitting it pretty high.
Yeah,
pretty high up in the air.
And then when you watch your kid splat in the water like that, you kind of go back to get him, and you're thinking, God, I hope he's okay.
Well, and then the other kid too, right? It's the kid that's not yours. I discovered something though when we were out there. So we were out there for a while. Then his buddy, we had to drop him off. So then I had to, I dropped him off, and then we went back out there because we were waiting to pick up the teenager. The teenager needed to be picked up from gymnastics, but she was at a friend's house who. I mean, all of these gymnastics friends she has, they all live on the water. So one of them lives on the water. So I said, and I don't even know what, I think it's Hunts Point or something like that.
Yeah,
and I said,
Hunts Point.
Yeah. And I said, I'll just pick you up later. I'll pick you up at 7:00, but we're going to stay out here because I don't want to go back and then get in a car and drive over there to get you. So me and Owen are putzing around, and I discovered for the first time, because it's a free docking, downtown Kirkland. Where's downtown? Why have I been?
You haven't been there? You haven't gone to you've had a boat for how many years?
4.
And you're out on Lake Washington all the time, and you haven't gone into downtown
Never
Kirkland?
have gone in. It's free. It's free. You dock it for free. You put it up there, and then he and I wandered into downtown Kirkland. I said to myself, look what we've been missing. My God. It was out of control over there.
I still like Kirkland. There's still charm there, but it's a little high-endy now.
I could see that because there
It's
is
really
like,
high-endy. I mean, it's.
but
Yeah,
there was one bar right when we got off that I could tell was a something grape something or that I could tell was kind of an old school like music-y divey bar that hasn't gone the way of all the other places, and then I could see the high end stuff moving in. But there is kind of a mix of it for sure. But what a lovely little downtown Main Street.
Yeah, I know. No, it's nice, and they've got the little beach there, the little cove area there, and no, at Kirkland, downtown Kirkland in the summertime, and then
Missing out.
I think Holmgren lives along that road that heads toward 520, whatever that is, along the lakefront there, and there's several parks along there.
I've been missing out, Jim Moore.
No, yeah, Kirkland's a nice spot.
Gonna be going there like every weekend now.
Yeah,
Just hopping on over there.
I can see why. Boy, I had a buddy that used to have a boat that he docked there at Carillon Point.
Yeah.
And God, when I was in my 30s, I was just talking to my wife about this the other day because I got in my fair share of trouble. I was married and going out a little too much on weekdays. I'd go to my buddy's boat, write Sonic stories on off days, and then we'd go to the bar there at Carillon Point, and then go down to Hector's, and then go to Da Vinci's, and then I was just such a dumbass back then. I really was. I apologize to my first wife for what a shitty husband I was after we got divorced. But I used to, like, at midnight, 1 o'clock, I would drive. We lived on the Sammamish Plateau, and I would drive through Kirkland and Redmond down East Lake Sammamish. And, what wife likes it when her husband shows up at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night? That's like, what have you been doing?
Just out there writing stories. Just writing stories on the Sonics.
Yeah, well, the Sonics had a late practice tonight, honey.
Why do they keep practicing at 11 o'clock at night? And why is it in downtown Kirkland? And why do you smell like tequila? Well,
Do you ever look back and you know that you were the person that was doing that stuff, but you feel like it was a different person?
I've been a great husband, and so I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So, kind of a model husband. Yeah.
I put my first wife through hell. I did. I put her through hell. I drank too much, gambled too much, caroused too much.
Are you still doing all those things or no?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, not to that extent.
Now you're a good boy. So how was the wedding? Was the wedding good?
The wedding was fantastic.
Good. Nice.
It was beautiful up there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was mid-70s. I think the ceremony was at 4 o'clock. And okay, so the best thing about the ceremony, I swear to God, the over-under was probably, I think it might have been 9 or 10 minutes, but it wasn't longer than 10 minutes.
Perfect. That's what you need.
10-minute ceremony. And then the next thing you know, we're back. There wasn't music. There wasn't anything. Her brother, Jessamine's brother, was the honorary guy or whatever, married him, whatever you call that guy. And,
sure.
So that was cool. And then we went back to this patio area for cocktail hour and hors d'oeuvres, and then dinner later that night in another room right behind there. You had a partial view of Roche Harbor and the boats out there, and music, dancing, the whole 9 yards.
Did we dance?
We did dance.
Wow.
Yes,
good
we
for you.
danced.
Good
We
for
danced quite a bit.
Good
I
for
was
you.
self-conscious as usual.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about last Friday. You suck as a dancer. I suck as a dancer, but you got to get out there and dance. And the groom, I could tell the groom wasn't into dancing either. He kind of had to be pulled out there a couple times.
Yeah. Okay.
But he had to dance with his mom, and he had to dance with Jessamine.
Sure. Yeah.
But other than that, he made brief appearances. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the
funniest part,
open bar.
Open bar.
Good.
Open bar, and there was a guy named Rory, who I still don't know where he's from or what his connection was, but he seemed like a good guy, and he asked me if I wanted to have a shot at tequila with him, and I was like, okay.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Twist my arm.
They wouldn't give you shots at tequila unless the only way they would give you a shot is if they put ice in your glass first.
Oh.
I don't know if they were trying to get away from people just getting too hammered by doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the rules. I don't think I've ever heard about that at a wedding, but okay.
Yeah. And would you, so Okay, tell me, there's a lot of signs of an alcoholic, right? I mean, I don't know how many boxes you check. I mean, I check a few on that alcoholic checklist.
I don't really check many, but okay.
Okay, well, I do. But I don't think I'm a full-on alcoholic, but I know that I check some of those boxes. Okay, would you check this box? And I'm gonna. I love Carrie. Her name's Carrie. She's cool as hell, and she was in the wedding party, whatever you call it. Yeah, and bridesmaid. Correct. Thank you. But since they wouldn't give you shots or martinis, she decided that and I saw her. She did this twice during the course of the evening. She went down to the bar, which was nearby at the restaurant there, and paid for her own drinks so she could get shots herself and have her martinis. Would you? I mean, is that?
I don't think that's a checklist
for alcoholic.
No,
I mean, so you get free booze, and they had good call brands there. They had hard liquor. They had everything you would want there for free, and yet because you couldn't get shots the way she wanted them, she went down to the bar.
Well, how many times did Carrie go down to the bar for a shot of? How many times did she go down there for a shot and a martini? I've never really heard of someone getting a shot and then a martini. That's a that's a pretty lethal combo. We're going to do a shot of tequila and then we're going to chase that with a martini. Now, I think that would be that's the sign of yes, Carrie probably has a drinking problem.
No, but when you have free booze and then you decide because they don't serve it the way you want it to be served that you go down and you buy your own. And usually, what are those drinks? 14, 16 bucks? Whatever.
Yeah, I'm good with free, well, especially at Roche Harbor. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with free. So I would kind of just go free.
I am too. Yeah. And I had to go down. The only down part of the evening is I think I missed the Cougar Fight song at the end.
Oh, we went with the Cougar Fight song.
My wife Kathy was so tired and so worn out. But she had to go get her nightcap of Grand Marnier, and they didn't have that at the free bar.
Yeah.
So she was down there, and I had to save her from some guy that was like hitting on her and obnoxious. And, yeah. And he thought she was a lady of the evening when she came in. Isn't it? She had a wedding ring on. And he thought she was a hooker or something. Like, do you see hookers?
Are there a lot of hookers in Roche Harbor?
No, I know.
I don't really think.
Come on. Yeah, but he was apparently pretty obnoxious, so I had to go defend her honor.
Yeah. Did it almost get physical?
No, I did absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah, but it could have got if it got physical.
Once I got there, he just thought, God, this guy looks like he'll kick my ass.
Yeah. Well, you do give off that vibe that you can kick someone's ass. All right.
Yeah.
But that sounds like an eventful night, an eventful party.
It was. It really was. It was so much fun, and all the people there were great.
Good.
Well, except for one, the guy who fired me, he was there.
Oh, but you talked to him, right?
I did talk.
You had a very, very professional interaction.
Rich Moore, we did have a professional interaction. I really don't. I mean, Rich was good to me until the last day.
All right.
And then it wasn't so good that last day, but I told him, I just flat out told him, I go, look, man, I know you didn't want to fire me. Yeah. I know you didn't want to fire me, but you had to for something.
What was his reaction when you said that to him?
Not much of anything. I think it was a subject change.
Yeah. How about those Mariners?
Yeah. Hey, the bride looks beautiful tonight, doesn't she, Jim?
Yeah. Softy, how was he?
Typical Softy.
Yeah. Just out of control. Loud.
Popping off. Yeah. Did not make it in time for the wedding because of the ferry schedule coming out of Roche Harbor.
Yeah. Well, that's way
he and Rich
way to plan ahead.
He and Rich and Anders were late. Yeah.
So they missed the wedding, but they were there for the reception?
Correct. Yeah. Softy got his share of hors d'oeuvres. I didn't see drunk Softy, though. That was disappointing.
Because they didn't stay the night. They went back home?
Yeah, they hung out for dinner, and then they probably were, they got on, I think, a 10 o'clock boat out of Freddie Harbor. Softy said he got home at 3 a.m.
Good Lord, man. Stay the night.
No, I know. But at least, they showed up, and
that's good.
They tried taking, I think, a noon boat, and they were 2 boats down on that ferry run up there in the San Juan. So
that ferry system's a mess anyways. The absolute mess. It always has been. So the Mariners, huh? That was a good end to the first half of the season.
Yeah, that was good transition there. Well done.
Yeah, I don't know. I know.
Did you have anything
out of it? No,
you couldn't do anything better than that.
No, I couldn't think of anything.
You got to practice.
I don't know how to transition out of the
beautiful
ferry
setting
system
in Roche Harbor,
the ferry system into the beautiful and awful finish of the Mariners' first half of the season. Yeah, that was an error on my part. That was a poor transition.
Not like it matters.
It was a poor one.
You just set yourself up, and I like giving you a hard time because I missed doing that for 3 months.
God, what a terrible series. Jesus.
Yeah, and I think it's easy in hindsight to say that Gilbert should have stayed in the game, but I think even when it happened, when he came out, there were a lot of us going, "That'd be cool," because his last start, you were hoping he'd get that complete game. And it didn't work out. And we understand that one, why it didn't work out, because he had just given up the home run.
It doesn't anger me anymore, Jim, because I know it's happening. I know it's going to happen. So when he got through 7 at 87, I knew he was done. I knew it because it's just what they do. I thought maybe they would try to squeeze out one more a little bit. But once, you saw, him shaking hands and it was over, I'm like, I'm not surprised. It's just I guess I'm going to get over this new way of handling pitchers. Whether you like it or don't like it, I don't know. I mean, but it's just what they do, and it's what they're going to continue to do. They've had great success with these starters, but I think he screwed up. I think he's done it multiple times this year. We're not talking about pitching him 130, but 105. He can't get 105. I mean, he was facing the bottom of the order. Give him one more inning and then turn it over to Munoz.
It's one of those things, again, in hindsight, where it's, okay, they lost. They should have kept him in. But I think it would have been an error in judgment, even if they had won. I mean, if they needed to leave him in the game. And I mean, I'm just saying that I would have said that either way, even if they had won.
Well, I think I looked this up. He's had like 6 games this year.
I didn't say that very clearly, by the way.
No, it was,
that was kind of like Biden there for a second. Yeah, but so I might be losing it at 67. I give him the benefit of the doubt since he's 81.
If we put you up next to him, it would be. I mean,
let's start talking politics.
Let's steer clear away from politics. All right, I do not need to get into that. No.
I mean, don't you think, even if the Mariners, say the Mariners have won and Gilbert had the complete game, I mean, that's the direction they should have gone. Correct? They should have gone that direction. Or even if Gilbert had stayed in and he got roughed up in the 8th inning, I don't think I would have said, they should have gone to Stanek in the 8th inning instead of letting Logan go out there, because he was at 88 pitches.
Yeah. Let him start the 8th, and if he runs into a little bit of trouble, then you go get it. You go get whoever, if it was going to be Stanek or Munoz at that point. But I just think I think when it comes to pitching, sometimes I think Scott Service's inability, I think, to just veer off of what the game plan was before the game. Because they've got all the analytics and the numbers, and the game plan tells them what they're going to kind of do or how they want the game to play out. I just think sometimes you got it. And I know he has it in him. He played the game, and he was a catcher. I think you got to allow, God, look at him. Look how good he looks out there. He hasn't labored through this game. He's thrown 87 or 88 pitch, wherever it was.
Yeah, but
on the one hand, he's mowing guys down. And look at the bottom of the orders coming up. There's no reason to take him out.
Well, yeah. And on the one hand, though, you look at the fact that he's thrown more innings in the first half of this season than anyone else in MLB. But he could trot that out there.
Okay, but we look at that.
You've got the All-Star break coming up.
Right, he's off.
If you stay in order, and I don't think they will. I don't necessarily think they will. In fact, I would even think about having Logan get out there Friday night on his regular, 4 days rest against the Astros.
Well, no, but he would be. Yeah, I mean,
Monday,
he would.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You could have him come out on Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would.
I don't think they'll do that, but you can make a case for that because he's been their best pitcher. But still, Logan, if they stay in their current rotation of what they're doing, he's not going to pitch for another 8 days. So why not? If you're going to use the opportunity to leave him out there, this is the time to do it.
Yeah,
Although, down the road, if Gilbert, blows out his elbow and has to have Tommy John, service can say, well, see, that's why we were trying to protect him. Whatever. I can see both sides of it.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, though, is that when we look at, I keep hearing this innings pitched as a reason why they took him out.
Mm-hmm.
When did that become a negative stat? Why is that a negative stat? I looked at it as that he's leading the majors in innings pitch as a badge of honor in a way.
No, I know. Well, maybe it's different for starters and relievers, but remember last year, they used Brash so much, and then it didn't turn out well for him.
That's a little. I don't know. I think that's a little different. What it shows me is that this guy can gets into the seventh inning almost on every single start. That's what it shows me for Logan Gilbert. The thing with Brash was they was the only guy down there, and they're using him every day, every day out of the bullpen, and he's throwing nothing but gas and then breaking. He's throwing his arm out because he's throwing all the breaking pitches. So he's whipping his arm around there left and right. But
well, no, that one, and then Stanek, it was bad luck that he had the back spasms and he walked the first guy, and then you bring in Voth, and he's probably not primed to come in that situation, and not to give him he had a rough series there.
Yeah, Friday gives up the home run to Calhoun. Yeah,
it's pretty obvious, and I'll say it anyway. But you can't come in and walk two people when you're up 2 runs.
No, you start walking guys, and then it always hurts you. But again, it's the offense that's the problem again. I looked it up this morning. They're 30th in average. They're dead last in average. They're 28th in OPS. They're 28th in slugging. They lead the majors in strikeouts. They have 1,013 strikeouts. You're probably going to tell me they're on pace for what?
How'd you know?
Because you love this stat. So how many are they on pace for? I do love this stat. I know. How many are they on pace for?
I especially love that they stressed in the offseason that they didn't want to strike out as much.
Yeah, they don't want to strike out as much, and that's all they do is strike out.
And I always think, we got to get Brant Brown, or you do. Somebody needs to talk to Brant Brown.
Yeah.
The scapegoat.
Yeah.
Come on. Brant Brown, it wasn't your fault.
I think the offense has been worse since they fired him.
Oh, and then I like initially after Brown was fired, they kind of had a little uptick.
Yeah, like 3
and then everybody was like, oh, well, things got simplified.
Yeah, they simplified the game plan. Like, what's the game plan? It's like you don't script the first 15 plays. It's not football. What are we doing? And they're 27th in runs scored.
Yeah, anyway, to answer your question, you're right. You know me too well.
Yes.
They're on a pace for 1,675 strikeouts, which would be a major league record set last year by the Twins with 1,654.
Jeez.
I also like that they're not only leading MLB with 1,013 strikeouts, the second place team, the Oakland A's, they're 64 strikeouts behind.
God.
So, I just, it's part of today's game. People would explain it to me why it's okay as long as you get the power numbers and all those types of things. But it's still, it just bores the shit out of me, man. The strikeouts.
You had 15 strikeouts on Sunday, and they did a bullpen game. In fact, they did a bullpen game. That Carson Fulmer guy, who wasn't supposed to pitch as long as he was supposed to pitch, he was perfect through 4 2/3. He was perfect going into the 5th inning.
Well, yeah, that's always been the thing with the Mariners too. Not always, but this year and last year and maybe the year before. It doesn't matter if a guy is an ace or a number 5 starter or a reliever in a spot start. Games like yesterday can happen. How do you go? That guy, he should have had a perfect game through 5.
Yeah.
Until his second baseman made that buffoonery of a throw.
Right.
And so, that just can't happen. How that guy, he's a reliever. He's not even that good.
He's a terrible reliever. They're a terrible team. Yeah, it's just and I don't know what they're going to do at the deadline. It doesn't matter really. Well, they have to address so many needs that they can't address all of them, and it really is going to come down to what's the one bat they're going to add. They're likely going to add a bat and then add a guy in the bullpen, but that one bat, or if it's 2, is he going to be that impactful to where it changes the entire lineup? I mean, it's a lineup that you're throwing out there on recently here that has Mitch Garver hitting second. I mean, just, okay. Did you ever think Mitch Garver going into this season would hit second on this team?
And then I was talking to Stevie yesterday. Why do we still like Mitch Garver? Because he has 12 home runs? Because he occasionally, in baseball terms, he occasionally runs into one?
I love he runs in. I mean, his average has been terrible, but I mean, if you look
and he's a nice guy, a great interview.
I mean, his OPS is 645. I mean, recently he's been a little bit better, but I mean, hitting him second.
He's 2 for his last 19, though.
Yeah, but before that little run, he was better before this little last run, I guess.
Yeah. And then Polanco had a little. He was going for a while, but 1 for his last 12.
Yeah. Well,
Haniger 2 for his last 14.
Yeah, they
just can't keep sending those guys out there. And then you come back, you got Houston. I mean, maybe they'll take 2 or 3 from Houston and maintain their lead. But,
sure.
And then you got the Angels to finish out that homestand. And then you go to play the White Sox, which 27 and 71, but they gave you all that you wanted in that 4-game series in Seattle.
I think everybody gives them everything they want. They're just not built to where they're just gonna, they're gonna steamroll through teams. And then you got this Bob Nightingale report. They've been linked to Jazz Chisholm.
Okay, I like that.
Okay, so all right. Now here's the thing with I'm not a big fan of him.
Well, why not? Bring somebody else in.
I just don't think he's that good. I think he's overhyped. I think he's way overhyped.
My kids tell me he's decent, though. They like him. So
that's
what I'm basing it on.
You tell Mikey and Stevie, all right, start their own show.
Plus, he's got a cool name. I mean,
he's got a cool name, but I mean, he's not like, I don't know if he's that impactful of a bat. He's got 12 home runs. He's got some speed. I know 12. I guess I know we would take 12 home runs on this team. I get it, but the standard is pretty low here. Doesn't have a great on base. His average is like 250. I mean, it's certainly an upgrade at second base. It's certainly an upgrade at second base.
Yeah.
But he's got an attitude problem. That's his thing there. He's had issues with teammates in Miami. And detailed with Miguel Rojas for a couple years ago. He went after Don Mattingly on social media, a couple of years ago. So I don't know if you bring that type of guy in here. What's he going to do? Is he going to mesh well with the guys or not mesh well? He kind of comes across to me as this, I need to be the alpha male on the team. Well, he's not going to be the alpha male on this team. They already have one.
All right. Well, so we admit that they need to do something. And we also agree that they probably won't do something big. But if they don't do anything at all, how do you feel in that clubhouse? So there's a lot of different things to try and figure out. And then if you do something like, trade one of your key pieces like they did with Graveman, then what's the reaction?
Well, I don't think they're going to do that. I guess the thing with Chisholm would be, is he worth parting with, one of these top prospects in your system? You look at, right now in their system, Cole Young, the shortstop second baseman, is ranked as their number 1 prospect. I mean, they're going to want one of these guys for sure. They're probably going to ask for 2. With Young, Ford, or Colt Emerson. And they have a bunch of middle infielders right now in their system. They got a bunch. The Celestin kids, their 5th overall prospect is a shortstop. So, they've got 2, 3 of their top 5 guys are middle infielders. So they do have, I guess, logjam there of guys that they could trade. But I don't know. For some reason, I just don't know if Jazz Chisholm is the guy to sit there and give up one of those guys or 2 of those guys for him. Maybe that won't be the asking
well, you're
price.
Probably right about that, but
I'm probably wrong.
But they're not going to go for one of those big names. I mean, I keep seeing. I read some story today that they're linked to Guerrero still, and they're one of the contending teams that might get Vladimir Guerrero.
Well, I'm all on. I'm all on. But
does anyone think that that's actually going to happen?
Well, all indications are that they won't trade him. I mean, that Jim Duquette is adamant that they won't touch him. But I don't know. I mean,
well, I guaranteed we're going to see some of these names that we have on here: Rosarena, Bellinger, Bichette, Luis Robert.
I mean, I'd like
those names
Bellinger
are going to go
hurt.
elsewhere, aren't they? I mean, we're going to see teams, and then the worst part will be like they'll get some so-so guy that maybe they'll think that'll be like Robles or something, and it'll be a little bit of a spark. Yeah, he's kind of fun though. I like him.
I like him, and I think he should play more. I'd play him more in right field. I would play him as much as he can.
Yeah. I mean, why not? He's one of the best hitters right now.
Creates a havoc on the base paths, something you don't have.
I know he scored a little league run yesterday.
Yeah, he did. Trust me, I've seen him. I saw plenty of that this year.
Yeah. No, and at that point, I was thinking, okay, you got an insurance run. Gilbert's going well. I bet on the Mariners giving 1.5. I really enjoyed seeing that second run come across the plate, and then boom. Just disappeared. But you got 2 weeks till the trade deadline, and how much longer can they hang in there? I mean, Houston's going to take them over, aren't they? At some point,
I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised that. They're going to hang on. They're going to hang on because of their starting pitching, and pitching in general. And they're always going to be there. They're going to be there for the rest of the year. But it's just, they depend on it so much. They desperately need help offensively. And it's not only they need to add, whether it's Chisholm. Again, I don't hate Jazz Chisholm. It's an upgrade at second base. I think he does some things that you like. The speed, the way that he plays, I like it in that ballpark. I'm just I'm hesitant with the attitude, with that stuff. I think sports is big on teammates and all that kind of stuff. And I get leery of him walking into a clubhouse thinking he's the guy, because I think that could cause some friction inside that clubhouse. But I just don't want to. I don't know if I would give up.
You don't want a Winker.
No, yeah,
and
right.
Then Kelnick, there were some reports that he wasn't a good clubhouse guy.
Yeah, so I just steer clear of that. You know what I love about yesterday? We're not going to break down the MLB draft. But I love this guy the Mariners got. This is awesome. This is so damn cool. Now, you want to try to attempt to say his name?
No, I wrote it down. I had a hell of a time just writing down his name. There's a lot of J's and I's in
Okay, you want me? I'll go first. Gerangelo Sanja.
Did you look it up or listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it.
All right.
Gerangelo Sanja. You want to hear it? Let's hear it. Here we go.
Gerangelo Sanja.
Oh, nice.
Sanja.
That's pretty good. Gerangelo Sanja.
That's really good, because I would have gone with like Sijinji or something.
Yeah.
Sinjay.
I was so bored yesterday. I was sitting in my backyard watching the MLB draft. So when they got him, I saw the interview. This is remarkable. We hear about switch hitters all the time. You just never see this. Switch pitchers.
Yeah, okay.
This is awesome.
Trivia question. Who's the other Mariners switch pitcher?
Ooh.
Come on. They had him. He was with the A's, and then he came to Seattle.
Oh.
And I was going to look it up, but I think I remember his name.
Yes. It wasn't too long ago.
No, it wasn't too long ago at all. It was only like 3 or 4 years ago.
Vedetti.
Yeah, Vendetti, I think.
Yeah.
Vendetti. Yeah.
This is awesome. And then they yesterday during the draft, they were showing him back when, I think 2017 or 14. He was pitching Little League World Series. He was pitching for Curacao, and then they were showing him they would during an inning, he would come out, his manager had to come out and change gloves because he would switch. He was throwing right-handed, and then he'd go to left-handed. Now he's got a universal glove that he wears that he doesn't.
Was he 14 years old when he was pitching in the World Series?
He looked 14.
I bet he did.
That entire team looked 14. They're not checking birth certificates. If they were, they certainly are. They are fraudulent. I can tell you that. But this is awesome, and they say that I think they say he's better throwing from the right side, but it's not a huge difference. 113 Ks and 90 innings.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, though, that he's a natural lefty, but he throws harder righty.
Right. Yeah, which is – so do you know the story why he did it?
No, I don't.
So his dad was a professional baseball player, and his dad was a catcher. And so the motivation for Senja was he wanted to be better than his dad. And so when he was younger, he caught, but – his dad was saying, hey, there's not left-handed catchers. They just don't, they won't put you there if you're left-handed. So he goes, oh, okay. So that's why he switched, because he wanted to be better than his dad. So he started to learn to throw right-handed so he could catch.
I've never understood that, by the way. And
Neither have I.
I don't care what anybody tells me
It's
about
stupid.
a left-handed catcher. I don't get why you can't have it. And I think, what do people say, that there's so many right-handed hitters, or
that would be
that it makes it more difficult to throw it to second?
Yeah,
I don't get why you can't be a left-handed catcher. I mean, I guess that's one of those things where it's, what a stupid thing to say. Just like I still want to see a goalie pulled at the start of a game. Sometime.
No, I am 100% with you. I mean, I know it's Little League, but one of our best catchers is left-handed. Like, it's never
I know. Yeah, I saw that kid. That kid's good.
Never prevented him from catching, and I tell him, I'm like, it sucks because you're gonna get older and you're good at it, and someone's gonna move you. It's just gonna be stupid. I don't get it, and I know the baseball guy is gonna watch this about, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know.
Really,
yeah.
I just don't think it's that much. I just don't think that it's that difficult. And because there's more right-handed hitters, he can pop up and scoot over to his right and throw down.
The thing is, there's so many left-handed hitters too. So does that impact a right-handed catcher?
I just think it's one of those old baseball things, and it's just like it's been ingrained in people's head. It's like you can't have a middle infielder that's left-handed. Why? Why not? I mean, I watched the kid. Again, I know I'm comparing this to 11-year-olds. I watched some kid last week in our All-Star tournament who was left-handed playing shortstop. He was the best left-hander I'd seen all season long. Or, excuse me, best shortstop I'd seen. Fielded everything. Made every throw. Looked great. I kind of
get it on the left side of the infield where you want a right-handed guy, but I think you could get away with it at second base.
Yeah, I mean, I get as they get older, but geez, can
you imagine somebody watching this right now going, God, listen to these dumbasses talking about left-hand. But the catcher spot, someone would really have to explain. And I would need to sit there for a long time before I'd be convinced that it's a bad thing to do.
I get it. I get on my point. I get it when they get older, but I just think I see too many people at this age do it, like at the younger age do it, and like you can't play it short because you're left-handed. Why? They're 11.
I mean, think about the kids. Think about the kids over the years that have been left-handed catchers that have to give it up at some point, and they love being a catcher.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well, let's get a catcher on. If there's anyone that's watching or listening that's a catcher, do I know anybody that used to play catcher? We have to find someone and bring them on and be like, why can't they do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna bet on the home run derby tonight?
Probably.
Yeah, you are.
Because I haven't. I just saw the list of the people that are going to be in it. I'm going to bet on Teoscar.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Teoscar, who's going to be in it. Bohm's going to be in it. Ozuna, Ramirez, Garcia, Pete Alonso, Bobby Witt Jr., Gunnar Henderson. Our household is, for some reason, because Gunnar, kind of Norwegian name, Scandinavian, we're rooting for Gunnar Henderson. That's our guy. But I'm with you on Teoscar. I'd like to see Teoscar win it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and they have new rules tonight. I'm not completely familiar with what they're doing.
Yeah, so they're, instead of like having it head-to-head like they've done in the past in the first round, like they're all the top four, whoever have the most home runs out of the group, the top four advance, and then it goes head-to-head. And there's like a clock element to it now, and number of pitches and whatever.
Yeah, good memories though right now, right?
Because I love the home run derby.
And last year it was here.
It was great.
Yeah, it was so much fun going to my kids went to the home run derby, and
it's a blast.
Yeah, and then going to the game itself.
Yeah, so much fun.
It was cool to see Seattle, the showcase city for the event last
Home run derby's awesome because it's one of the best events. I mean, the dunk contest used to be great, but like it just, I don't know, makes it feel like a kid again watching the home run derby.
Oh yeah.
All right, you want to wrap it? Oh, we got some big news because we're wrapping up the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD with Hey What the Puck, but we got a brand new sponsor for Hey What the Puck.
Nice.
A brand new sponsor. Hey What the Puck now is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle, your restoration company that gets things back to normal, Jim. Avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with Restoration One's property restoration services. Locally owned and operated, make them your first call when damage happens at your residential or commercial property. Something goes wrong. So give the fine folks at Restoration One a call there in North Seattle, 206-817-8917. You can visit them online at restoration1.com. Just search for the North Seattle franchise. So any damage to your home or your property, You need someone to come in and kind of take care of it all. Restoration One is your spot there in North Seattle. Brand new sponsor here. We appreciate their business. Shout out to my guy, Trent, and everyone that works there at Restoration One sponsoring Hey, What the Puck. Real quick, British Open is back, or the Open Championship, whatever you want to call it. Our golf pool is back. Just go to pucksports.com, and you can enter into our golf pool. Puck's British Open is back. First place, $150 to John Howie Steak. Second place, $50 to Zeke's Pizza, and then third place is a $25 gift card to Georgetown Brewery. It's easy, Jim. You pick 5 golfers, most earnings, just most money earned wins. Tiebreaker is winner score to par. Picks got to be made by Thursday, July 18th at 7 a.m. I actually might have to change that because it's the Open Championship. It's got to be before then. We'll call it midnight, 12:01 there on Thursday. All right. So we got that. The British Open. You got a winner. You have someone you're going to put some shekels on here this week.
You'll appreciate this being a golf betting guy and being in fantasy pools. I had Robert McIntyre last week as one of my 2 players. And of course, he missed the cut last week. And then this week, he wins the Scottish Open.
He shouldn't have won, though. He shouldn't have won.
What happened? Because Adam Scott was up by 2.
Drop. So he's in that fescue, right? He's in the fescue. He is dead. He's dead. He's buried. He's not going to survive it. There's no way he's going to get the ball on. He takes a practice swing, and he's wearing metal spikes, by the way. Metal spikes. And he goes, oh, I'm standing on a sprinkler head. And so the rules official comes over there and says, oh, yeah. And because he was wearing metal spikes, if he was not, he wouldn't have gotten the relief, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I didn't know many guys wore metal spikes anymore.
Yeah. And they gave him relief, so he got to take relief, and he drops it into like an open little spot. Perfect. He gets great contact on it, knocks it on, and ends up getting on that hole an eagle and wins. And if people didn't like him, other golfers and other people in the industry, I think he would have gotten buried. But everyone loves him, so they took it easy on him. But
I wasn't aware of that.
He didn't do anything wrong. It's the rule is wrong. He took advantage of a dumb rule because he hit it into the fescue. He should be penalized for hitting it in there, not get free relief out of there and a great, shot and a perfect lie and then knocks it on the green. Yeah. He would not have come close. I don't think where he was hitting at, he would have been able to get the ball out. He'd have been screwed. So he would have lost the tournament. And
wow, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, I used to like him. Well, I like him because he's a lefty for some reason. It was a good day for lefty golfers because that Marty Fish guy won down in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, no, he's everybody loves him.
But I liked him better when he was fatter. I did.
McIntyre?
Yeah, he's lost some weight, so I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him personally.
Okay,
but I enjoyed him when he was like a little heftier.
Okay, wow, that's interesting.
It's just like if Harry Higgs lost a bunch of weight, I wouldn't like him as much.
I got you. Okay, all right.
Okay,
all right. That's Hey, What the Puck. It's again brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle, your restoration company that gets things back to a normal. Avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with Restoration One's property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damage happens at your residential or commercial property. Call them at 206-817-8917 or visit them at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. We do Hey, What the Puck at the end of every daily puck drop, the DPD. All right. What's on? You have a busy week, I'm told. Lots of golf?
Yeah, I told you that.
I know. Going to be real busy.
I think
this
I'm
week.
Either going to play River's Edge or Ouija Creek tomorrow.
Oh, good for you.
And today I'm in this sprint mode, of trying to lose a little bit of weight because I got my 50th high school reunion coming up.
Okay, so you're not eating this week. Good. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and go from 222 to 205 in 4 days.
You're going to try and lose 15 pounds in 4 days. So you're not eating,
I'm joking, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay, that sounds healthy, safe.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. Let's check in on Wednesday again to see where your progress is.
All right.
And then by Friday, let's see if you've made it to 205.
I'll let you know.
All right, you're the best. There he is, Jim Moore, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on the Daily Puck Drop, the DPD, inside the Puck Sports Studios built by Limback Lumber. Again, thank you for watching on YouTube, listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. And, of course, follow along at Puck Sports and pucksports.com. Oh, I forgot to do the
promise to be better.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to leave this in here. We're not going to edit it out because we're fools.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it in.
And you know what? You know what? What I forgot is we're tagging out because I'm an idiot. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. And as always, right? Say it together. Promise to be better.
Promise to be better.
God,
and we never are.
We never are. All right. See you, buddy.
Okay. Take care. Go Cougs.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!